to shake the matrix, expand our minds, and make us all think. How are you guys doing this grand morning? It's good to have you on here, those of you that are here this morning. For you that are joining on in the afternoon, good afternoon. For those of you in the evening, well, good evening. We're just going to send out a couple of little invites, let people know we are live. We got a few more, and then we're good to go. So we've got a good one for you guys this morning. Some of you may be sleeping still, and that's okay. But hey, the thing why you do this is so that all of our people on all the other networks can come back and check out, because YouTube is the one place that seems to repost our lives. So it kind of helps things keep the flow. So hopefully this is reaching you, and it's meant to reach you because you're ready for this. We're going to talk about why reality feels fake, and even how we're entrapped, and how to stay sovereign in this reality, this world that we exist in. Grand risings. So this is a full detail. We got philosophy, we got science, we got nature, and we got spirituality. We got it all in here to show you guys the truth of our existence. So I want to start by naming something. Something many of us actually feel, but rarely say out loud. And at some point, you looked around and you've thought this. We all have. Something about this doesn't feel real, right? Not fake like a movie, but not fake like nothing matters, but fake like something is missing in this world and in this existence. Like this world is shallow compared to what you sense is possible. Like we're missing the boat, you know? And when people say that out loud, they're often dismissed or kind of labeled crazy, or they're told they're spiritualizing things way too much, or disassociating even, or losing touch. But I'm going to slow this down a little bit and make you think. Because what if that feeling isn't delusional at all? What if perception is trying to break through this conditioning that we've been all brought into? And let's face it, we've been all conditioned, right down to our names, titles, jobs, even, I mean, come on. Those things apparently matter. I mean, let's think about it. We're not talking about escaping reality here either. We're talking about why reality feels thin. What's the deal? Why people feel entrapped inside it somehow. And how to live here without losing your soul, your body, or your power, or your peace. Because it's possible. See, when people say reality is fake, what they are usually sensing is not that reality doesn't exist. That's not what we're saying. They're sensing that maybe they're being shown something, but not complete. What they're being shown is incomplete. You see, the brain is a buffer. Did you know that? See, your brain, it does not show you reality like you think. It shows you a model of reality, your idea of reality at that time, to be honest. And this is not philosophy either. This is actually neuroscience, guys. And your eyes, they don't transmit full images either. Yeah. So, what's just in front of you? It's what you observed, and that's what's there. See, your brain does the rest. It fills in most of what we see, actually. So that's why, you go to an accident and you have a scene, and there's like 5 people who watch this accident, but all 5 people have a different perspective of that situation. Why? You're all in front of the same thing. It happened at the exact same time. Your eyes were all laid on it. But yet, we find that in any court system, all over the place, any witnesses, that yeah, their storyline's pretty much the same, but their perception of how it took place, it changes. See, your eyes have never transmitted anything. It's just filled it in. And your memory actually doesn't store events either. Yeah, check that out. It reconstructs them in your mind from your perception lens. So what you're seeing, what you believe, is how you're going to see through those lenses. Your perception isn't neutral. It is shaped by fear, by trauma, by culture, and languages, and survival needs. It's built through experience, and so your world gets developed by the experience you've come from, which is why we talk about rewriting your story. So when people say this feels fake, what they're actually feeling is, I'm living inside a filtered version of existence. What's that filter? It's like wearing a VR headset you forgot to put on, you know? The screen life. I mean, think about how many hours a day reality comes through the damn screens for us all. I mean, really? That's craziness. News, work, relationships, validations, conflict, our dings, all those different things. Your body is sitting in one room. Your nervous system, though, it's entirely somewhere else all the time. No wonder we're getting shooken up and our health is going crazy. We have all kinds of autoimmune diseases, cancers, and everything eating us alive. This is why people feel disconnected, guys. It's not because reality is fake. It's but because presence has been outsourced. Psychology, cognitive dissonance, and when information threatens identity, the brain rejects it. If your identity depends on this job, your title, this belief, this system being just, then your mind will filter out anything it challenges it. Again, it's perception, what we observe. Not because you're weak, because you're human. And what we've been doing is creating loops. Work, consume, distract, repeat. And at some point, your soul notices the loop. The loop that's when reality starts feeling fake. You know, science and assimilation feels, in physics, reality behaves strangely. Particles exist as probabilities until observed. Information seems more fundamental than matter. How's it going? Morning. And this doesn't prove we live in a computer simulation. But it also doesn't suggest something, it does suggest something important. Reality is not solid, the way we were taught. It behaves more like code, process, and information than fixed substances. And then you begin to see the system. And where it's a prison system, yes. But you're the one you're the prisoner and the prison guard all at the same time with the keys. That's why the simulation keeps appearing. Because we're seeing the codes. It's the best language people have for a world that behaves unlike we were promised. It's not solid. Spoon's a spoon because we believe it's a spoon. Just like Plato's cave. Imagine this, you guys. Imagine chained in a cave. From birth. All you know, you don't even know those are chains. And they don't know that they're chained at all. Just like many of us didn't know we're stuck in a loop of chaos, a prison. That you got the key sitting there the whole time and you can't even see that you hold the key. See, these ones in this cave, they don't even know there's an outside. They've watched shadows on a wall and call it reality. You know, if one person breaks free and turns around, the light hurts. They're disorientated. And when they go back to tell the others, they sound crazy. Not because they are, because they're speaking outside the shared illusion. I've gone through this experience. Oh my goodness, it took me 2.5 years to finally rise up and talk about what I experienced on the other side. And the first interview I did, I lost many friends, including my youngest son was influenced by the church, and we were like the closest friends. We had a good relationship, even on record. And you know what? I couldn't not speak this truth. I couldn't go back onto the stage of religion. Yeah, creation exists. But religion's been entrapped of shame, divide, and pointing fingers and judging. And that is not the design of our original beings. See, if one person breaks free and turns around to the light, it hurts. It's hard. That's why it took me 2.5 years to speak this truth. But yet the interesting thing is it's backed up behind everything. Philosophy, science, ancient texts, religion, every level. And yet, I still would have people say she's crazy. But yet, how? It lines up. I speak outside the shared illusion. Here's where we need to be very clear. Entrapment is not about villains in a room controlling the world. Entrapment is about systems that benefit from unconscious participation. Who is the they, really, by the way? Can I prove you have awareness are not just chemical reactions? Yeah, dude, it's all in science. Everything I teach. So my suggestion is to go onto my lives. And when you go onto my channel and click on there, there's years and years of work. Also, go get my books, the Awaken trilogy. You can get it on Amazon, and you can get it on Kindle. Okay, just look up Awaken, Ariel Hooper. They'll all come there. I got everything in there, even scripture, even the theology, even right down to where major theologians who are actually writing and translating scriptures even as we speak have literally told me I can even show messages where they said you're dead on. Dead on. So there's something more to our system than what you have been made to believe. You believe there's a heaven to go to, but in fact, it's not even a place. It's not some external existence whatsoever. And even the religious books that you guys read in the original text say this. It says even by Yeshua himself, it says in John 10:34, go look it up. I tell you the truth, it's not written in your book, in your laws, but you are all gods. Or the Elohim. And this thing is I find interesting is why can't they say that name? They had to make up some new name. Could you imagine? Could you imagine you go to someone and they say, hey, I'm Sally. What do you know as? And you say, well, I'm Christina. And then they turn around and say, okay, Bob. What? Why would they do that? When everything backs it up. It's not even a name. Out there they say we can't say it. It's pretty easy. Elohim. Breath of life. All existence. Inhale, exhale. Yahweh is breathing. Existence. In the Gnostic language, they were called the archons. The ones who decided to create this false narrative. Not demons, not forces of ignorance. Just forces that rule by keeping awareness asleep. Keeping our consciousness and the reality that we are spark of the divine. See, the demerge wasn't pure evil at all. So translate these things. What is the demerge in today? In the modern language, it's governments, corporations, algorithms, financial systems, trauma-based family patterns. None of these need to be evil. They just need to run. Why? To keep the narrative, the divide. And they run best when people are exhausted, divided, predictable. See, the real prison, the prison was never matter. It was forgetting who you are and where you came from. And there's not like a special prayer that's going to save you or get you to that place. You're already there. It's remembering and awakening. It's having the scales fall from your eyes and seeing the truth of its existence. See, when you forget your inner authority, you look for permission. Why would your teacher sit there and say to you, the kingdom is within, but yet gets you to look external? How does that even make sense? See, what happens when we forget our inner authority? We always look for permission. That's why we go to everybody and say, am I making the right choice here? When you don't trust yourself, you follow rules that don't serve you. You're following rules and regulations and ideas of someone else's journey. That's what it's like listening to a preacher from a stage. It's their journey, their expression. Now making a bunch of other little minions doing the same thing. See, it looks like normal life, responsibilities, just how things are, right? We call it the comfortable cage. Imagine a cage so comfortable, you never question it. I mean, we do that to our animals, don't we? How can you not assume it's happening to us? You're fed, entertained, distracted. You don't need chains. You need routine, right? That's how modern control works. 9 to 5, slave in, slave out. Cadillac lineups at the restaurants and grocery stores. Let's go deeper. What if humanity isn't sinful either? You've just been taught that. What if the only sin is truly that we're fragmented? Fragmented explained. Here it is. You ready? Trauma splits awareness. Parts of you break off to survive. It's called fragmenting. Those parts don't disappear. They operate unconsciously within you. These are what Carl Jung called the shadows. Multiply this across generations, across cultures, across civilizations. You get species that forget it was whole. I mean, ancient myths even say that one became many. God shattered into fragments. It is not heresy to say you are God, because even the one you worship says the exact same thing. John 10:34. Not written in your laws, but I tell you the truth, you're all gods. We're just going to ignore those lines. Came from the mouth of the one you worship himself. And the kingdom is within. See, one became many gods shattered into fragments, not as punishment, but as an experience. The danger wasn't division. The danger was forgetting connection. And here's the science behind it. Some scientists have even suggested that consciousness is fundamental. It's not produced by the brain. The brain may be a receiver, actually. See, if that's true, fragmentation isn't cosmic. Failure, it's a signal of interference. And nature even shows us this. What verse was that? Is John 10:34. Did I study Islam? It is good to expand knowledge, not only on West scriptures. 100%, bro. I study a whole bunch of everything that I can get my hands on. But I also experienced a ton and understand of the law. I went and studied a world religion when I was younger. And I got to take all the different structures and religions and everything and actually go into the depths of it, right down to understanding the nirvana and understanding the water, understanding so many things. It was phenomenal. It's always phenomenal to expand our minds and understand beyond. You're right, 100% of that, not just beyond one Western culture. That's why I'm saying if you go into the ancient texts, you'll see these more vibrant. So nature shows the truth, and I don't really go by any religion. If anyone's wanting to know that, religion is something I stay far away from. I read to broaden my understandings. So, anyways, so the brain may be a receiver, okay? And if that's true, the fragmentation isn't cosmic failure. It's signal interference. And nature shows us this truth. If we look into the forest, right, the mycelium works. If you guys ever paid attention to what mycelium networks do, it's phenomenal. It's like the biggest computer programming you can ever imagine. It's intense. But it's information shared resources, a redistributed throughout plant life and everything. They all have a connection and communicate. And nature remembers unity. And humans were taught separation. See, the middle ground, Maddie, is split. System, loyalty, inner knowing. Her power doesn't come from, choosing one. It comes from integration. See, manifestation is not even magic. And a lot of people try to think that is, or I've had people go, well, I got prayed for and I got healed. God healed me. Well, the energy that was going on in the belief system at that time was, you're ready for that. You received it. You manifested that. Manifestation is not, let me tell you, it's alignment. Okay, it's not magic. So when your thoughts say one thing, your emotions say another, and your body feels unsafe, nothing holds. Reality responds to coherence, basically. And this is why trauma blocks manifestation, not because you're broken, but because your system doesn't believe safety yet. Alignment restores power. Reality feels fake because it is filtered. And you feel trapped because you were taught to forget yourself. Freedom doesn't come from escaping the world. It comes from knowing yourself. Knowing the integration, what you've split, staying embodied. You don't need to fight the system. That's what we always think we got to do, right? And when you are whole, you are no longer usable by it. Take a breath, feel your body, and remember, you are not here to escape reality. You are here to inhabit it consciously. And we got to remember those things. Did I ever astral project? All the time, man. I don't sleep. I just astral. Oh my goodness. All right, you guys. Well, peace and love.